everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So today we are going to be using the Decofoil Transfer Gel Duo. There is a regular transfer gel, but we're going to be using this one. Now how this works is you can use this with or without heat. So today I wanted to show you how to use it without heat, and it's super easy. Pretty much what you would use toner based foil, so like your Gina K Decofoil. Also you can use Xyron foil, foils for your mink machine. So anything toner foil you can use. So to get started, what you're going to do is, this is my little working station here. And what's going to happen is I am going to use a stencil. So I'm going to put my stencil down over my paper, and I'm going to use some low tack tape to hold it in place. And what's going to happen is we are going to apply this gel, and then we're going to let it dry for like 1 hour. And when you let it dry for 1 hour, it becomes tacky. So then when it becomes tacky, you can then lay your foil on top of it and run it through your die cutting machine. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. You will need a palette knife or either a craft spatula of some type. And all you do is just take some for your project, just enough. And you do not waste any of this, so you'll always return what you don't use to the back to your container. So I have a stencil pal. I'll leave the all of this can be purchased on the ThermoWeb website. You can also purchase some of this on Amazon. Okay, so pretty much what you do is you just go over your stencil. And you can use your palette knife to do this, but I like the stencil because it gives more even coverage and it makes the project very much faster. Okay, now you can also place some tape where you don't want the gel to go, but it doesn't bother me. And plus I didn't take out that much. So sometimes it may be tough to see if you're using a white stencil and you're using white paper. You want to make sure you get in your corners, and if you need more, you can always take more, because remember what you don't use. And I'm just using this for the little corners because there's some little small edges there. And I'm just going to take out a little more, and remember what we don't use we return to our container. So you want to give it good coverage, not too thick. If you do it too thick, when you run it through your die cutting machine, I found that it kind of mushes and squishes up your design when it's going through the machine. So you want to put a nice even coat, but just not too thick. Okay, so then I think that looks good. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to, let me get down here. And like I said, with white paper, it's a little tough to see. So make sure you have good lighting. Okay. And then now what we're going to do is we are going to apply the rest. And I know it's not much, but I'm going to go ahead and transfer this back to my container so none is wasted. And then you want to immediately place your tools that you used as well as your stencil in soapy water, because this starts to get tacky as soon as possible. So then you are going to carefully lift up your project, and just be careful. Okay, and I'm going to just take this up, and this needs to sit for 1 hour to dry. So I am going to put this immediately, like I said, in soapy water, because it starts to get tacky right away. So I have one here that's already dry, and this one I let sit overnight. Now it doesn't feel as tacky as it does within an hour, so we'll see if this still works. Now I normally do my projects right away, so after that 1 hour I'm ready to go, but I did not want to wait 1 hour and then come back to this video, so I figured I would you know, prepare ahead of the video. So these sat overnight, but let's see if it sticks. And I'm using Glaminator transfer foil from Xyron, and like I said, this is the same foil you would use if you have a Glaminator, but if not, don't worry, because this is going to work. And just a little bigger. Okay, and then what you're going to do now is I am going to show you using this in an electronic die cutting machine as well as a manual die cutting machine. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your project, you're going to take your foil pretty side up, lay it over top like this, and then for your manual die cutting machine, I'm going to be using, I am going to be using my Spellbinders Platinum. So what you want is you want your platform plate, you want your clear plate, you want to take your project, and what you want to do is take a card shim. So this is just a 5x7 card, put it inside for some pressure, because remember we need pressure for this to transfer. And then I'm just going to put this on top my other clear plate. Okay, and I am just using my Spellbinders manual die cutting machine. So I am going to not do this on camera because it's going to shake the camera. So I would do that. Or maybe I can, if you don't mind the shaking, I'll just do it really quick. Okay, so I'm just running it through. Sorry for the shaking. All right, and then I pull it through, and then let's see. All right, it looks like it transferred because you can see it. Now I wasn't sure if it was going to do it because I let it sit overnight, and it did not feel tacky. So let's go ahead and reveal this. Perfect. And if you get some missed pieces like right there, you can just put this back on and put it back in. So I'm going to put it back in, or you can add another paper shim. So I'm just going to put it back in because I want it to fully transfer. Okay. All right, I'm going to move this out the way because I'll show you next on the Gemini electronic machine. All right, so let's pull it back, and much better. Okay, it was just that one spot, but how pretty is that? And if you see like right here, you see where that is, little spot, that's me when I was putting the gel on. It was smearing under the stencil. Okay, but for the most part, there you go, you have this beautiful foiled paper and for your project. So save this because I'm going to show you what to do with this in another video. Okay, so now let's go ahead, and I have another one that I made overnight, that I let sit overnight, and let me get that. So for this one, this is just some butterflies, and I let sit overnight. And then this is the foil that I'm using is from Deco Foil, which the same company for this gel, and this is called Rainbow Shatter. And like I said, I'll leave all of the links to their website. And this comes with 5 pieces, and this is a new one because I have been using it, so I had to open my other one. And yeah, so the 5 pieces all come in different colors. As you can see, there's rainbow on each page, but see how this one doesn't have the pink purple? This one has more of it, this one, and then this one. So you just choose what you want. I'm going to choose the one here, and you're just going to cut a piece to the size of your project, of course. And I need my, so just cut a piece a little bigger. So if you're doing, this is a 5x5, this particular card that I made. So if you're doing 6x6, I think this is a 6x12. So you can get 2 uses out of that one sheet. Okay. So then now we are going to be using the Gemini from Crafter's Companion. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 clear plates and this plate here, and it needs Jesus. It is so old, I need a new one. So to help that, I'm going to use my metal shim. Okay. Now I also like to put this inside of a card because all of these lines, sometimes that can show up in your work. So what I'll do is I'm going to use my plate, clear plate. I'm going to sit this on. I'm going to sit this on, and then this on like that. Okay, and I know you're thinking that's a weird sandwich. It is, but it'll work. So I didn't put it inside of another card, but you can do that. You don't have to. All right, so this is done with the electronic machine, and let's see. So you can't really see it, but it looks good. I think I want to run it through one more time because, like I said, this plate is so warped, like it's not supporting it. So I'm going to run it through one more time, okay? Or you can just put it through a card shim. That'll also help you, okay? But I'm still going to run it one more time because it needs it. Now, if you have some decent plates, you should only have to do this once. So after this, I'm going to show you. Now, these are the only two machines that I use to do use the gel. I really don't use the manual machine, but I wanted to show you that if you had a manual, it will work. So let's see. Okay, looks good. Looks great. All right, so I know it's kind of tough to see, but it's super, super pretty. See that? Fantastic. Okay, so we have one more to do. And remember, save your negative, because I'm going to show you what to do with that in another video coming up shortly. So save that. So then now for this one, I'm also using the Thermal Web Deco Foil, and this one is called Gold Shatter. So this one is like the Rainbow Shatter, except you don't get the ombre of colors. So you get the pretty gold, and I prefer like the when it comes to my hot foiling and any type of this foiling, I prefer like the sparklies with the glass and the raindrops and the stars and all of that good stuff. So you can use also any stencil that you have to do this. So Dollar Tree has stencils. You can use stencils that you have around the house, whatever. And I'm just going to put this on. Remember, pretty side up. And you can allow this to sit overnight, and if you're not ready, if you just want to do a couple of pieces for some future projects and let it dry overnight. So again, I'm going to be using my Gemini, and I'm just going to run that through. And so the other way that you would use this gel is you would do the same thing. Apply it to your project, let it sit for 1 hour and dry, and then you would run it through your Mink or your laminator or any type of laminating machine. Okay, but I'm going to do another video for that one. I'm going to run this through one more time. Remember my plates. I'm going to do another video to show you how I'm using it with the laminating machine, so stay tuned for that as well. So I'm going to do the reveal for this, and then I'm going to decorate these cards, and I will come back and show you the finished projects. So let's see. So like I said, if you have good plates, you don't really have to worry about running it through twice. It's just my plates are super warped. And again, keep this, and we are going to do another video using that. So how pretty is this? Super, super pretty. Okay, so now I will make some cards, and I'll be back to show you the finished products. Okay, so here are my finished cards. So this one, and the we did with the the black paper with the rainbow foil, and I just added some coordinating butterflies, some jewels, and a sentiment, and used some foil paper. And then for the zebra one, I made this birthday card. So there's the zebra paper. And remember, those stencils that I was using was, I think, 6 by 6. So you can cut them down or adjust the size as you need. I would adjust my paper size before I apply the gel, because remember, it gets tacky and you don't want to try to put that through your paper trimmer. And then this one is my ruby red slippers. So, and then this one here I did not make, but this is the one that I said we had to wait an hour for it to dry. So I just used more of the rainbow shatter paper, foil, not paper, foil. And I did not make anything with this yet. So those are the cards. I hope that you find this easy. Remember, all you need is a die cutting machine, Deco Foil Transfer Gel Duo. Remember, Duo, so you can use it with or without your ink machine, your laminator, any laminator. So yeah, so just apply it through a stencil, wait for an hour or a little longer depending on how thick you your gel is, how much you apply. And then the way you'll know if it's dry is when it, well, not dry, but when it's tacky is when it turns clear. And anyways, the instructions are clearly written here on the back. So that's it. So save your waste of the foil. I will do another video and show you what to do with that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are inspired, and